Mary slammed the door of their Brooklyn apartment so hard the walls shook, her heart pounding like a war drum. "Esther, how could you lie to me for an entire year?" she screamed, tears streaming down her face as she clutched the crumpled letter that shattered everything. In that instant, the mystery of their love unraveled, revealing a betrayal that cut deeper than any knife. The autumn leaves crunched under Mary's boots as she hurried through Central Park, the crisp New York air biting at her cheeks. It was October 2024, and the city was alive with the hum of tourists and locals alike, everyone bundled in scarves and jackets against the early chill. Mary Thompson, a 32-year-old graphic designer with a penchant for oversized sweaters and messy buns, was late for her blind date set up by her best friend, Alex. She wasn't thrilled about it. Dating apps had burned her out, and the idea of meeting someone new felt exhausting. But Alex had insisted. "Esther's perfect for you. Smart, funny, and totally your type." She spotted Esther immediately at the Bethesda Terrace, leaning against the railing with a coffee in hand, her dark hair cascading over a tailored coat that screamed corporate chic. Esther Levine, 34, was a civil rights lawyer at a midtown firm, known for her sharp wit in the courtroom and her quiet intensity outside of it. Their eyes met, and Mary felt a spark, a genuine electric pull that made her forget the cold. "Hi, I'm Esther," she said, extending a hand with a smile that lit up her hazel eyes. "Alex said you'd be the one with the sketchbook under your arm." Mary laughed, tucking her notebook closer. "Guilty as charged. I'm Mary. Nice to meet you." They walked along the paths, talking effortlessly about everything from favorite coffee spots in the village to the absurdity of subway delays. Esther shared stories of her pro bono work helping LGBTQ+ immigrants, her voice passionate yet measured. Mary opened up about her freelance gigs designing book covers, how art was her escape from a chaotic childhood in rural Pennsylvania. By the time they reached the lake, the sun was dipping low, casting a golden hue over the water. "I haven't felt this connected in ages," Mary admitted as they sat on a bench watching rowboats glide by. Esther turned to her, her expression softening. "Me neither. But let's take it slow, okay? Life's complicated." Mary nodded, though a flicker of curiosity stirred. What complications? But she pushed it aside. The moment felt too perfect to question. Their first kiss happened 2 weeks later, under the twinkling lights of a rooftop bar in Williamsburg. It was soft, tentative, but ignited a fire in Mary's chest. Esther pulled back first, her breath ragged. "You're trouble, Mary Thompson." "Good trouble," Mary whispered, grinning. They fell into a rhythm quickly. Weekend brunches at hole-in-the-wall diners, late-night walks across the Brooklyn Bridge, sharing playlists of indie folk songs that spoke of longing and hope. Esther's apartment in Chelsea became their haven, filled with law books and Mary's scattered sketches. But even in those early days, Mary noticed the distance. Esther would tense up when Mary asked about her family, changing the subject with a joke or a kiss. Calls from an unknown number would make her step away, her voice hushed and strained. One evening, as they cooked pasta in Esther's kitchen, Mary tried to probe gently. "You never talk about your parents. Are they okay?" Esther stirred the sauce, her back to Mary. "They're fine. Just not close. Let's not ruin the night." Mary let it go, but the seed of doubt was planted. Still, the love grew. Esther surprised Mary with tickets to a Broadway show for her birthday, and Mary painted a portrait of Esther that captured her fierce determination. They celebrated Thanksgiving with Alex and a few friends, toasting to new beginnings. As snow blanketed the city in December, they whispered, "I love you," for the first time, curled up by the window watching flurries dance. Yet the mystery lingered. Esther's phone would buzz at odd hours, and she'd delete messages without explanation. Mary chalked it up to work stress. Lawyers had crazy schedules, right? But deep down she wondered if there was more. By spring 2025, their relationship deepened. They took a road trip to the Hamptons, where Long Beach walks turned into heartfelt confessions. Mary shared her fears of abandonment from her parents' divorce. Esther listened, holding her tight, but offered little in return. "I'm here now," she'd say, evading her own past. The first crack appeared in May. They were at a pride event in the village, rainbow flags waving proudly. Esther froze when a woman approached, her face paling. "Rachel." Esther stammered. The woman, elegant with sharp features, hugged her awkwardly. Esther, it's been years. You look great. Mary stood there, confused, as they exchanged pleasantries. Later, Esther brushed it off. Old colleague. Nothing more. But Mary saw the lie in her eyes. That night, arguments flared. Who was she really? Mary demanded. Just drop it, Esther snapped, storming out. They made up the next day, but the tension simmered. Summer brought heat waves and festivals, but also more secrets. Esther canceled plans last minute, citing emergencies. Mary found a hidden photo in Esther's drawer. An old picture of Esther and Rachel, arms linked, smiling at a wedding. Confrontation came on a humid July evening. Are you cheating? Mary asked, voice breaking. Esther's eyes filled with tears. No, Mary. It's not that. Rachel was my ex. We were engaged once. But it's over. Mary felt a punch to the gut. Engaged? Why hide it? Because it ended badly. She left me for someone else. I didn't want to scare you away. Relief mixed with hurt. They talked through the night, Esther finally opening up about the heartbreak that made her guarded. Mary forgave, pulling her close. We can build trust together. For a while it worked. August saw them stronger, attending therapy sessions as a couple. Esther shared more. Her conservative Jewish family disowned her after she came out, adding layers to her walls. Mary supported her, dreaming of a future. But as fall approached again, marking their one-year anniversary, whispers of doubt returned. Esther grew distant once more, working late, avoiding intimacy. Mary planned a surprise weekend getaway to the Catskills, hoping to reignite the spark. Little did she know the real storm was brewing. The drive to the Catskills was filled with anticipation. Mary had packed Esther's favorite snacks, dark chocolate and trail mix, and queued up a playlist of their songs. Esther seemed distracted, checking her phone every few miles, but Mary attributed it to work. Put that away, she teased. This weekend is about us. Esther smiled faintly. You're right. I'm sorry. They arrived at the cozy cabin nestled among fiery red maples, the air crisp with the scent of pine. That first night they built a fire, roasted marshmallows, and made love under quilts that smelled of wood smoke. It felt like the early days, pure, unfiltered connection. But on the second day, while hiking, Esther's phone rang. She stepped away, her voice low and urgent. When she returned, her face was ashen. Everything okay? Mary asked. Just a client. Nothing big. Mary didn't buy it. That evening, as they sipped wine on the porch, she pressed. You've been off lately. Talk to me. Esther sighed, staring at the stars. It's my family. My sister reached out after years of silence. She's getting married, wants me there. Mary's heart swelled. That's great. We can go together. Esther shook her head. It's not that simple. They don't know about us, about me being out. The words hung heavy. Mary felt a sting. After a year, you haven't told them? I'm scared, Mary. Rejection hurts. They argued then, voices echoing in the quiet woods. Mary felt sidelined like a secret. Am I not worth fighting for? You are, Esther insisted, tears falling. I just need time. They returned to the city strained, the anniversary overshadowed. Back in Brooklyn, life resumed, but cracks widened. Esther threw herself into work, winning a big case for transgender rights that made headlines. Mary was proud, attending the celebration party, but noticed Rachel there. Uninvited, or so Esther claimed. Rachel's on the opposing team sometimes, Esther explained later. Coincidence? Mary's trust wavered. She started noticing patterns. Late nights, vague explanations, a new perfume that wasn't hers. One night, scrolling through Esther's unlocked iPad, guilt gnawing at her, she found emails. Flirty exchanges with Rachel, plans to meet for closure. Betrayal hit like a tidal wave. How could you? Mary confronted Esther in their living room. The city lights mocking their turmoil. Esther crumpled. It's not what you think. We met to talk about the past. Nothing happened. But you hid it. Again. The fight escalated, words like daggers. Esther admitted the pull of old flames, the comfort in familiarity amid her family chaos. I love you, Mary, but I'm messed up. Mary left that night, crashing at Alex's. Days blurred into anguish, sleepless nights, unanswered texts. Esther called relentlessly. leaving voicemails of apologies, promises to change. Reconciliation came tentatively. They met at their favorite coffee shop in the East Village. Esther looked wrecked, eyes red-rimmed. I told my family about us. They're not thrilled, but it's a start. And Rachel? Blocked. For good. Mary's heart ached. Why the secrets? Fear. Of losing you like I lost her. They decided to try again with boundaries. Therapy intensified, focusing on communication. Fall turned to winter, and they volunteered together at a shelter for queer youth, finding purpose in helping others. Mary's art flourished, inspired by their journey. She exhibited pieces on love's fragility. But drama loomed. In January 2026, Esther's sister invited them to the wedding in Chicago. Nervous but hopeful, they flew out. The family reunion was tense. Stiff hugs, pointed questions. Esther's mother pulled her aside. Is this what you want? A life like this? Mary overheard, feeling like an outsider. That night in their hotel, Esther broke down. They want me to be normal. You're perfect as you are, Mary soothed. The wedding day was emotional. Esther stood proud, introducing Mary as her partner. Some relatives warmed. Others whispered. On the dance floor they swayed to a slow song, The World Fading. Back in New York, life stabilized. They adopted a rescue cat named Luna, symbolizing new beginnings. Mary's career took off with a gallery show. Esther mentored young lawyers. Their love deepened, raw and real. Yet, subtle distances persisted. Esther would stare into space, lost in thoughts. Mary wondered if the walls were truly down. One stormy February evening, the truth erupted. Mary found a letter in the mail, addressed to Esther from Rachel. Inside, I miss us. Let's try again. Esther swore she hadn't responded, but the damage was done. Why is she still contacting you? Mary yelled. I don't know. I thought it was over. Trust shattered anew. Mary packed a bag, tears blinding her. I can't do this anymore. The mystery, the lies, it's killing me. Esther begged. Please don't go. I choose you. But Mary left, the door slamming behind her. Weeks of separation followed. Mary threw herself into work, painting canvases of heartbreak. Esther sought solo therapy, confronting her patterns. Friends mediated, urging reconciliation. In March they met in Central Park where it all began. Snow melted into puddles, spring whispering promises. I've been an idiot, Esther said. My fear made me sabotage us. But I want to fight, for you, for me. Mary hesitated. Can I trust you? Let's build it day by day. They embraced, cautious hope blooming. Spring in New York brought renewal, but for Mary and Esther, it was a fragile bloom. They started over slowly, dates like strangers, rebuilding from the ground up. Coffee walks turned into deep conversations. Therapy sessions uncovered layers of trauma. Esther shared her childhood in a strict household, where love was conditional. I learned to hide to survive, she confessed. Mary opened about her own insecurities, how past relationships left her fearing abandonment. Your distance made me feel invisible. Together they volunteered more, channeling pain into purpose. At a queer community center, they led workshops on healthy relationships, drawing from their struggles. It was cathartic seeing young couples nod in recognition. By May they moved back in together, the Brooklyn apartment feeling like home again. Esther surprised Mary with a custom ring. Not a proposal but a promise. To always be open, she said, slipping it on. Mary's gallery show was a hit, her pieces on love's enigma selling out. Esther beamed with pride, toasting at the after-party. You're my muse. But life threw curves. In June, Esther's firm faced a scandal. A colleague accused of ethics violations, dragging her into investigations. Stress mounted. Esther withdrew again, working endless hours. Mary noticed the signs. Don't shut me out, she urged. I'm trying, Esther replied, exhausted. Then the betrayal resurfaced. Rachel called during a dinner party, her voice audible on speaker. Esther, we need to talk. I still love you. Guests fell silent. Mary excused herself, heart racing. Later alone, Esther explained. She won't stop. I blocked her, but she uses different numbers. Why not tell me? Mary asked, voice trembling. I didn't want to worry you. The argument reignited old wounds. Your protection is just more secrets. Esther nodded, defeated. You're right. I need to end this for good. She filed a restraining order the next day, with Mary by her side. It was a turning point, Esther choosing transparency over fear. Summer heated up with pride parades and rooftop barbecues. They traveled to San Francisco for a conference, exploring the Castro district hand in hand. Amid rainbow streets, Esther proposed an idea. Let's renew our commitment. A small ceremony, just us and friends. Mary's eyes lit. Yes. Planning brought joy, venue scouting in the Hudson Valley, vow writing under starry skies. But doubts crept in. Mary dreamed of Esther leaving, waking in sweats. In August during a hike, Mary voiced it. What if you pull away again? Esther stopped, taking her hands. I won't. I've learned. You're my anchor. The ceremony was intimate, at a friend's farm upstate. Under an oak tree they exchanged vows. I promise to let you in always, Esther said. I promise to trust even when it's hard, Mary replied. Guests cheered. Alex teared up. Felt like closure. Fall arrived with routine apple-picking, football games on TV. Esther's family reached out tentatively. A holiday invite came. Bring Mary, her sister wrote. Thanksgiving in Chicago was awkward but progress. Esther's mother hugged Mary stiffly. Welcome. Back home they decorated for Christmas, strings of lights twinkling hope. But in December crisis struck. Esther's health scare. A lump found during a routine check. Biopsy waited. Fear gripped them. Mary stayed strong, holding Esther through nights of worry. We'll face it together. Results came benign. Relief washed over, strengthening their bond. As 2026 dawned, they reflected on the year. Highs and lows, betrayals and forgiveness. We've grown, Mary said. Esther nodded. Because of you. Yet the mystery of love's depth lingered. Not in secrets but in endless discovery. One evening Esther revealed a final truth. Before us I was in therapy for depression. Rachel triggered it. I hid it, ashamed. Mary held her. No more hiding. We're in this. Healing continued. Their love a testament to resilience. The new year brought fresh challenges, but Mary and Esther faced them united. Esther's promotion at work meant more responsibility, but she prioritized balance. Date nights mandatory, no exceptions. Mary freelanced from home, turning their spare room into a studio where inspiration flowed. In February, they attended a couples retreat in Vermont, snow-capped mountains fostering vulnerability. Workshops on communication revealed more. Esther's fear stemmed from her father's abandonment. I push away before I get left. Mary shared her own abandonment issues. We mirror each other. Bonds deepened. They returned refreshed. March saw activism peak. They marched in Washington for LGBTQ+ rights, signs high, voices loud. Amid crowds, Esther whispered, "This is us, fighting together." Back in New York, daily life hummed. Luna the cat curled between them on movie nights. Friends envied their synergy. But April brought turmoil. Esther's ex-colleague leaked old emails, twisting them into scandal. Media hounded. Esther's reputation teetered. Mary stood firm. We'll sue if needed. I'm here. Esther leaned on her, grateful. The storm passed with apologies and retractions. May bloomed with their second anniversary. They revisited the Catskills, this time without secrets. By the fire, Esther said, "You've taught me love isn't perfect, it's persistent." Mary smiled. "And you've shown me it's worth the risk." Summer adventures followed. A road trip down the coast to Miami, beaches and laughter. In Key West, they watched sunsets, dreaming of futures, maybe kids, adoption. But in July, family drama resurfaced. Esther's mother called, ill with cancer. "Come home," she pleaded. They flew to Chicago. Hospital visits were emotional. Reconciliations tentative. Mary supported silently as Esther navigated guilt and grief. "You're strong," Mary whispered during a breakdown. Treatment progressed. Hope flickered. August humidity mirrored tensions. Esther's stress led to snaps. Mary felt the strain. A fight erupted. "You're withdrawing again." "I'm scared, Mary." Losing her. Understanding dawned. They hugged, vowing patience. Fall colors returned, mirroring change. Esther's mother improved. Family ties mended slightly. In October, Mary proposed formally on Bethesda Terrace where they met. "Marry me, Esther." Through mysteries and all. Esther tearfully accepted. Yes. Planning a wedding infused joy. Venue in Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. Guest list intimate. November brought cold but warmth inside. They hosted Friendsgiving, toasts to resilience. December sparkled with holidays. They visited Esther's family. Mary welcomed warmer. As midnight struck on New Year's Eve 2026, fireworks over the Hudson, they kissed. "To us," Esther said. Mary nodded. Forever. Their love, once shrouded, now shone, human, flawed, beautiful. In the quiet moments they reflected on the journey. From that first spark to betrayals weathered, each trial forged stronger ties. Esther's walls crumbled, revealing a vulnerability that deepened their intimacy. Mary's trust, once fractured, mended through shared battles. They mentored a young lesbian couple at the center, passing on wisdom. Love demands courage. As winter waned, wedding prep intensified. Dresses fitted, vows refined. Excitement buzzed. But a final test loomed. Rachel appeared at a fundraiser, cornering Esther. One last chance. Esther stood tall. "I'm happy. Leave us alone." Mary, witnessing, felt pride. "You chose us." Spring 2027 approached with wedding fever. The botanical gardens bloomed in anticipation. Cherry blossoms a poetic backdrop. Mary and Esther finalized details, catering with vegan options, a playlist of their anthems. Nerves jittered. What if it's not perfect? Esther fretted. Mary laughed. "It won't be. That's us." Rehearsal dinner was heartfelt. Toasts from Alex. "To love that endures." The day dawned sunny. Mary in ivory lace, Esther in tailored suit, elegant, true. Under the arch, vows flowed. "Mary, you unraveled my mysteries, showed me love's light," Esther said. "Esther, through storms you became my home," Mary replied.
Rimzikschéned, kis szíld.
Cheers erupted. Reception danced into night, cake cutting, first dance to their song. Honeymoon in Hawaii followed. Beaches, hikes, uninterrupted bliss. "No secrets here," Esther joked. Back home, life settled into married rhythm. They bought a brownstone in Park Slope, envisioning family. In June they started adoption process, attending classes, preparing hearts. Challenges arose, bureaucracy, doubts. But together they persevered. By fall, news came. A baby girl available soon. Excitement built. Nursery painted. Names debated. In December they brought home little Ava, tiny, perfect. Parenthood transformed them. Sleepless nights but joy boundless. Esther cradled Ava, whispering stories. Mary captured moments in sketches. Years blurred but love endured. Ava grew, knowing two moms who fought for happiness. Reflecting on that year of distance, they saw it as catalyst, pushing growth, fostering depth. In quiet evenings they held hands. "Worth every mystery," Mary said. Esther smiled. "Absolutely." Their story, dramatic and romantic, echoed human truth. Love triumphs through forgiveness, understanding. In America's melting pot, their bond stood as beacon, resilient, profound.